Good afternoon, everybody. We're glad to have you with us, join us for this training. All right, so I'll be taking us through proper storage for medicines. I'll be going through background and the overview of proper storage, how beneficial proper storage of medicines is to your business, to your store. I would also be taking challenges to proper storage, from structural challenges to personnel challenges, all types of challenges, and how you can overcome those challenges. I would also be talking through proper shelving and storage techniques that you can apply to your store shelving to ensure that it's more efficient, and some you may already be doing, some may be new to you. I would also be talking us through receiving and storing medicines, which is a very important step to shelving and storage. And then finally, I'll be talking through inventory management best practice. So my other colleague later on will be taking you through a display of products for merchandising and all that, but I will be speaking to just proper storage and shelving. So it's very important, like Yewande mentioned, that the drugs, the products you dispense to your customers are, of good quality. Now, we on our own end, as Shelf Life, first, we've been able to develop our expertise by partnering with, pharmacies, medicine stores, hospitals, in order to properly, optimize their operations. And we've been able to gather that expertise. So we are in a good standpoint to, give advice on the do's and don'ts of storage of medicines. Also, in terms of the supply chain and distributing drugs, we on our own end practice good distribution practice, good storage practice, both in our distribution center in Lagos and throughout the logistics process. So when we procure our products, to when you place an order, to when it gets to you, from the storage, warehousing, to the logistics, we ensure that the products are of good quality and maintain the good quality as well. So what is getting to you, the efficacy of what is getting to you would be guaranteed. So on your own end, as store owners, as shop owners, you are also supposed to practice these good storage guidelines to ensure that what you are giving to your end user, to your customer, is also of good quality. So, I mean, medicine saves lives and improves overall health outcomes and health quality. And it's very important that, good storage practice or good storage guidelines are practiced to ensure that, there's a reliable supply of quality medicines throughout the supply chain. And improper storage of medicines can lead to a lot of things. It can lead to, first, the quality of the product is not guaranteed. The product might not work, from the end user, and that might affect, the perception of, the kind of product or your business. We also have misplacement of stock, new frame. We have expiries, of general expiration of medicines. So it's very important that we, work on this to ensure that what we give our customers are, of good quality. All right. So I've highlighted a couple of challenges, especially in this part of the world, that's Nigeria to be precise, that we've been able to identify, both from working with, you know, uh, um, providers of medicines, that's providers of medical commodities, both from working with them and just on our own research. So first, we have structural challenges. So, you know, in this part of the world, in terms of quality control for buildings and everything, everybody's trying to maximize, you know, profits. We have landlords, you know, that build not very quality, you know, uh, structures and buildings. So we have improper ventilation, right? The ventilation, you know, you see stores, some stores don't even have windows, there's no ventilation. There's humidity because there's improper ventilation. So everywhere is, you know, either hot or there is some form of humidity in the air. The air is not fresh. To light sensitivity, if there's a window, you know, you should ensure that that window is has a blind. There's something that is blocking out light from entering and having direct contact with the drugs. A lot of over-the-counter medication have some instructions on them. You see a lot of them say, keep away from direct sunlight, store in a cool, dry place, and all that. So it's very important that we are following those guidelines and those instructions. So if you have a window, you should be properly, you know, covered, either with a blind or a curtain, or just to ensure that you don't have direct light streaming to your products or to your shelves. We also have the challenge of security, right? In Nigeria, we have issues of thefts, of, you know, even burglary, pilfering, and all that. So it's very important that not only the inside of your store, but even outside, you secure everywhere, and then you put in systems in place to reduce, you know, pilfering of stock. I'll be speaking more about that later. But then we also have pests. Pests are also challenges, especially when, you know, we have stores that you are selling, you know, other things, maybe cosmetics or even, you know, other types of fast moving goods. You may have the problem of pests. So it's very important that, you know, you ensure that you are practicing proper pest control, and you don't have bugs or, you know, rats even, you know, that would go and chip on products. Next, we have storage challenges. This is also directly related to structural challenge because there is limited space. Your store is small. How do you demarcate? How do you structure? Where do you put your shelves? How do you ensure that as you put your shelves, there's enough space to be able to, you know, go around and do quality assurance and check things. So it's very it's also a challenge, limited space. Then also inefficient space utilization is a challenge. That's the room for movement. If two shelves are too close to each other, that would not be too great because one is not able to, you know, move in between and check products. Then shelving systems, you know, what kind of shelving systems, you know, are more efficient for you to use in your pharmacy, or sorry, in your business, in your store, to ensure that you are having, you know, maximum value for how your products are arranged, to ensure that anybody that wants to reach a product is able to reach without, you know, having to struggle or having to, you know, not even knowing where the products are even stored. So whatever shelving system you choose, you know, is also very important, because if you don't choose a good one, it can be a challenge. I'll also be talking more about shelving systems. Then lastly, we have personnel challenges, you know, lack of well-trained personnel. Your personnel don't understand some of these drug requirements. They don't understand, they don't even know the product names. They don't know how to store them. They don't know how to shelve them, you know. So it's very important that, you know, your personnel are trained on both, you know, your shelving system. They are trained on how to receive drugs. They are trained on how to store, trained on using different storage guidelines, and also trained on the drugs themselves so they know what they are. So for example, you can train your staff on how to handle expired products or damaged products, right? If they receive a product and it's damaged, what do they do next? All these things should be in place. FIFO, that's first expiry, first out. Are they following that? Even after training them, you should monitor and ensure that they are keeping the products that are expiring first in the front and then keeping the ones expiring later behind. And also inspecting the products.